What it is, everyone. So I just had some work done to the bike, the suspension work. The springs that they come factory with are for 180 pounds, and I'm way under that. So every time I rode it, I would get bucked up or bucked this way and sideways, and I'd land sideways, and the bike was basically trying to kill me. So before I got seriously hurt, I decided to take my suspension to Brian at N2Dirt Suspension. I took the forks off and the rear shock off, and I just brought it to them. We're actually gonna go back over there and we're gonna talk to Brian. He's got some really cool stuff. It's a little shop, but they do great work, and I haven't ridden it yet, but I can already tell by bouncing it up and down, it's gonna be a lot better for me. So can't wait to ride it, and we'll go back to N2Dirt, the shop. We'll show you guys around, and we'll talk to Brian. So I'll see you guys at the shop. All right, guys, you join me at N2Dirt Suspension. They have great suspension work. They do such a great job. I just got my new bike suspension set up. Huge difference. I'm not getting bucked around anymore. And I did get to test ride my bike. So N2Dirt, so you got their website, their phone number. And we're gonna go get a look at the shop right now. We're gonna get a little tour, and we're gonna talk to Brian, the owner. All right, so we're inside the shop now. We're with Brian, the owner. Really cool dude. And he's gonna give us a little tour of the shop.
So yeah, we're in the shop area out here. This is where we do like general maintenance on the bikes for our suspension guys and our race guys. So we've got a huge inventory of springs, and it's just our shop area. We've got a lift and all of our tools, and we do engines and stuff over here. So
actually, I didn't know they did engines. What kind of engine work do you do?
We do a lot more suspension than engines. We're just trying to keep our racers going and our suspension guys going. So building stations over here. Nice drain table. Doing a lot of forks and shocks. Ultrasonic tank. A lot of stuff gets cleaned in. This is our solvent tank over here. All the suspension gets cleaned down really good before it goes back. You don't want oily suspension. You know? So
big thing.
And then back here is another shock building station and drain table, and we do all of our setups back here. All your shims, nitrogen. We've got a vacuum system for your shocks. So everything's really consistently built and put back together really good.
And so you have all these shims just sitting here and ready for any type of racer, any suspension setup.
Any setup. For the most part, every once in a while we need a few things, but we've got everything where we can do it. We can also do it out of the van too, so we're gonna do an on-site stuff. And that's pretty much it.
And then you also, if you go into the, if you run into people at the track and they ask for a setup, so you have all that, you're all equipped and everything.
We can do most setups on site, but we're focusing more on the setups here and then the tuning on site. But
okay.
we can make it happen, yeah.
And so like I said, I just got my suspension done. So now I got to work on the clicks and the fine adjustments. And he graciously agreed to hook up one day at the track so we can get it especially dialed in for me, even though it already feels great.
Yeah, we're always out at the track riding and racing and testing and stuff. So, to hook up and, get your stuff fine-tuned is totally something we do all the time.
And so can people like out of state, let's say, can they like ship their forks and springs here and you guys do it and then you send it back? How does that work?
Yeah, if they don't have a good local tuner, and that happens frequently, is, we'll get, people from out of state or even, up in Canada, send their stuff out, and we get it, give them a setup sheet and they fill everything out, and then, give them a setup and ship it back, yeah.
And that setup sheet's online? right? They had to film that.
It's on the website, N2Dirt.net. Yeah.
And I'll put a link to all that in the description. So how'd you get started with all this?
Pure necessity, man. Just riding my own stuff and setting my own stuff up. About going on 20 years ago. Yeah.
Great.
So it's been a while.
And how long you been riding for?
I got a picture in here.
Yeah, let's see.
Show you. This is my first bike right here. Me on the Honda.
Oh yeah.
Starting out, me and my dad and my brother up in Gorman. So, and then that's my first 125 two-stroke.
That's cool.
Yeah, pretty much like my whole life. Yeah. So.
Just like me, I'm only 22, but I've been riding for pretty much my whole life.
Yep.
And they have looks like they have little parts here too that you can buy, right? Customers can buy these.
Yeah, this is all suspension part stock. We try to keep everything in stock to do full rebuilds and virtually turn stuff around the same day, if possible. Depends on our backlog, but for the most part, we're ordering every week, every other day. So whatever it takes.
Sweet. Yeah, it's a smaller shop, but they got everything, as you can see, and like I said, they did great work on my suspension. I can't be happier, and I'm feeling much more confident on my bike. And I want to give
a 19 CRF 450R. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an awesome bike.
Yeah.
So.
And was it difficult at all, or nah? You know what you're doing, right?
No, it's it's standard procedure. It's nice working on new bikes because no one else has been in it and messed it up. That's what we get a lot. We get a lot of other shops around that make mistakes or don't use the proper parts or don't like bleed the WP shocks with the vacuum bleeder or use the good parts that go along with everything. So sometimes we have to change it around, but when a brand new bike comes in, that's the best way to go.
And I can attest to his knowledge because I originally just wanted to get just lighter springs, and I thought that would fix everything. But he told me it will still be an uncomfortable ride because you're not shimming it, you're not re-oiling it, and plus it's a new bike.
Yeah.
So it's best to do everything.
Yeah.
And he was right. I mean, I don't know what it would feel like if I just replaced the springs, but I'm glad that I did everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's really know what he's talking about. That's pretty much all he does. It's his specialty.
Yep.
And how many workers you got here?
It's just me and Dino.
Me and Dino?
Yeah.
And
I've got an office manager, but usually they come back after summertime when it gets real busy.
Yeah. And what's your busiest time?
Business times 9 to 6, Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday?
Yeah, and we're usually at the track or at the races on the weekends for the most part.
And you're pretty much at all the major races around here, right?
Yeah, I've been trying to go to the big ones and the local ones and that type of stuff.
I've seen them out there all the time.
Yeah. So cool.
All right. Well, that wraps up this video. If you guys like what you see, comment, rate, and subscribe. I'll link all the information to N2Dirt Suspension in the description below. Thank you so much for Brian to give me the tour and open up his shop to us. And we'll see you guys in the next video.